Turn up the bass.
Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of Let's Talk Crypto. Today we are going to discuss a very hot topic in Avalanche ecosystem, subnets. I guess you guys have heard about it earlier as well, or you must have heard it from someone in crypto space. But today in this video, you'll get to know exactly what are subnets, why they are so important, what was the need to have subnets, some of the collaborations, some of the latest updates, and a lot more. So, first and foremost thing, let's start off with this video by knowing what exactly are subnets. So, I would like you guys to actually explain a bit, Manan or to the moon, that what exactly are subnets to our dear audience.
Okay, Manan, then I'm gonna take this one. Before
Okay.
beginning, I would like to thank Kuen for having me again on the show. So, Subnets is an application-specific blockchain built over Avalanche, which uses Avalanche consensus and is validated by the validators of Avalanche, making it super secure. Additionally, what subnets do, it solves the blockchain trilemma of decentralization, scalability, and security. As well, Avalanche offers horizontal scaling of subnets, which means you can create unlimited numbers of subnets.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really amazing. So basically, I guess To The Moon was trying to explain that you can create your own blockchain on Avalanche. That means you are the king of like creation of your own subnets. You can do anything as per your needs. You can do innovation in technology, you can do innovation in fees as per your own convenience. And this is what Avalanche offers you, and that's really incredible for all the people who are like going or looking forward to it. So now when we are subnets a bit, so let's get to know that why there was a need to have subnets in crypto space.
Okay, so let me explain you guys that why do we need subnets. So currently no blockchain is equipped to handle the traffic of multiple mainstream applications like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube, etc. coming on a single purpose layer one blockchain. And if that happens, it will just doom its users to pay large network fees. And that's what are happening on Ethereum blockchain currently. It has crazy fees like $50 to $100 are normal gas fees on Ethereum network.
Very rightly explained, Manan. Even I was thinking the same. The transition of Web 2.0 to Web 3.0 won't be that easy. The network utilization gonna increase, and with that, explosion of gas wars will be there. And I also think that who doesn't wants to have the transaction go through in a click of a second. So it's the more fortunate ones, the ones who have those big bags, gonna just increase the gas like nothing, and the less fortunate ones who also want like on the click of a second their transaction goes through, it won't happen. And that is a big, what to say, a backdrop as of now. And for that, in order to happen, we need to find a secure and a cheap way where everyone or the more fortunate less fortunate ones also gets the chance to have their transactions go through. So in the end, I think the all kind of use cases will become totally irrelevant just because of the fact the cost is too high for each and every transaction, and we have to look out for a solution for this.
Okay, so very rightly said to the moon. And as you mentioned, that we are still growing. And so I would like to compare here the daily active users. Currently, Ethereum has only 200 to 300,000 daily active users, and the network congestion is already a huge problem. And compared to other social medias like Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, where daily millions, if not billions, people go and do their work. Okay, now imagine what would happen when we go mainstream and these millions of users come to blockchain or Web 3.0. Even if newly emerging layer 1 blockchains could handle 300 to 500x of what Ethereum is currently handling, they are nowhere close to being capable of carrying out mainstream adoption.
Yeah, and this is how, like, I guess subnets came into existence. Avalanche had this very innovative idea that each application has its own rules, each application has its own properties, and if they do wonders in a long run and they'll be having too many users for their application, the load would not be in one single blockchain, rather it would be splitting in different blockchains. And this is what subnet is all about. So now let me just tell you that who can actually create subnets. So, if you are thinking that subnets can be created by only Avalanche validators, then you are simply wrong. Subnets can be created by any entity. All you need is to have Avalanche validators to update the configuration file in order to include the subnet as validator. The best part of the subnets is the ability to create it as the way you want it. The transaction fee, whether you want it permissioned or permissionless, it's all in your hand. Now, when we are talking about Avalanche subnet creators, we are talking about their benefits. But what about the validators? The validators also have the equal right to participate in the subnet, as each subnet has their own hardware, each subnet has their own RAM. So, the Avalanche validators also have this ability to decide which subnet they want to participate in. So, this is actually a hand in hand participation, and this will go a long way. So, I would really like to say this, the idea is really innovative and this is the future. So basically when we are talking about subnets, I should really be focusing upon the benefits of subnets. So I would really like you guys to actually talk about it a little more.
So, guys, I would like to highlight some benefits of subnets. Firstly, with the creation of subnets, it eliminates the part like suppose if a highly congested application is having its own subnet, what it will do is it will lower down the pressure on the main blockchain. So, and secondly, subnets are customizable. You can have your own gas token, fee structure, virtual machine, etc., etc. Thirdly, a point which I personally feel very good about is like subnets. In subnets, you can have your own private blockchain, and it will surely attract a good different type of group base of institutions which really wants to keep their data hidden, and only the validators validating that subnet could see the information. Fourthly, each subnet has its own requirement, so you can choose your validators accordingly so that the application doesn't suffer.
Okay, so we discussed that subnet is the best way to achieve scalability, and it is pretty beneficial to users, and it decreases the load on main chain. But now let's talk about why projects would want to use subnets. So, uh, uh, what subnet does is it enables some advanced features like enabling the projects to use their native tokens for gas fees without sacrificing any kind of security. For example, uh, we currently have a DeFi Kingdom subnet Crystalvale running on Avalanche, and it is using its native token Jewel as a gas fees. Also, Avalanche subnets can create an ideal environment for institutions to migrate on chain and experience the power of DeFi protocols firsthand as a users, not just as investors. And also, currently, the biggest issue these institutes face in adopting to blockchain is regulations. So, Avalanche Subnet have a feature for KYC infrastructure, and it can help them with regulations, and we can see a massive institutional adoption because of this.
Well explained, Manan, and to the moon. That was really an important aspect to talk about. So now let's talk about the next thing, which is diving deep into your minds, I guess. That why to choose Avalanche subnet? Why not to explore a little bit more? So to help you guys further, we would really like to talk about Avalanche versus Cosmos versus Polkadot.
Okay, so let me explain to you guys that why we are comparing Avalanche, Cosmos, and Polkadot here. It is because these three chains are the best three scalable layer one blockchains right now, which uses different structures. So let's first talk about Cosmos. So Cosmos runs individual chains on Tinderment, but all of these chains have nothing to do with each other. So as a security point of view, all these chains are on their own. Now let's talk about Polkadot here. Polkadot is a sharded polychain where all the parachains are secured together by same group. If the security is compromised in one chain, all chains are compromised. So sharded chains like Polkadot have a beacon chain, which is the main chain that all chains refer to. And the problem with this is uh, the more shards come into existence, the network becomes more slower, and that's why they have a limit of only 100 parachains. So now let's talk about Avalanche here. So Avalanche is quite similar to Cosmos ecosystem, uh, and it's very different from Polkadot. What is unique that Avalanche has and Cosmos doesn't? It is that the subnets of Avalanche has a shared security. It means the existing validators of Avalanche are the ones who will be validating the subnets. So it makes the subnets more secure. And also, I would like to make few more differences here. One is the performance wise, where subnets are significantly ahead, as its time to finality is much better. And also, subnets support EVM and generic virtual machines better than zones. And now it's time to share the big news on the subnet back to back. Firstly, DeFi Kingdom subnet Crystalvale is live. Let's know more about it from you guys.
Yeah, Manan, absolutely right. DeFi Kingdom is doing incredibly well. So I would really like to give you a gist that what is exactly DeFi Kingdom. DeFi Kingdom is a game, a DEX, a liquidity pool opportunity, a market for rare utility-driven NFTs. It is actually a full place where you can have the incredibility nostalgic form of pixel art. So basically, DeFi Kingdom subnet Crystal Whale is live, as Manan told, and it is doing really awesome. DFK chain is one of the first major EVM subnets on Avalanche. The best part is the fees will not be there in AVX but in their own token Jewel. For DFK chain to include bridges, trading, and a lot more. That means the load will not be there on the Avalanche chain but on the DFK chain. Check the growth and activity and know all about it what they have done in such a small span of time. You can track their activity of the DFK chain through the Avalanche new subnet explorer. You can get the link in the description below. Also, you can see how the growth is going on the screen. You will be amazed to know that on 2nd April, C chain plus DFK daily transaction exceeded Ethereum daily transactions. That is actually an amazing news to talk about.
Also, to support the subnet in the Avalanche ecosystem, Avalanche Foundation launched the Multiverse program, which is a $22 to $90 million incentive program for acceleration of adoption and growth of subnets. And it is just not restricted to blockchain, but also gaming, NFTs, DeFi, and institutional use cases. I have just skimmed through the multiverse. Would you guys like to talk a little more about it?
Okay,
Yes,
yes, I would like to share my views. Avalanche Multiverse brought DeFi Kingdom's specific subnet Crystalvale with a combined incentives up to $15 million in AVAX and Crystal. Additionally, Avalanche will collaborate with the Aave companies, Golden Tree Asset Management, Wintermute, Jump Crypto, Valkyrie, Securitize, and others to build the first horizontally integrated blockchain specifically engineered for institutional DeFi with native KYC functionality. This will enable regulated institutions to leverage the power of subnets to access DeFi primitives at scale and accelerate the institution adoption of DeFi. Okay, so Avalanche Multiverse intends to divide into at least six phases to support future projects participating in the program to launch their own subnets.
Yeah, and at this moment, I would like to say welcome to the year of subnets, guys. So there is a lot and a lot of subnets that are in line, whether it's Grabada, it's Ascender, it's Sharknil, and a lot more with projects which are going to launch on Avalanche subnets. And we are really eager to like seeing projects on Avalanche chain growing this way. And when
Also,
I'm
I
talking
would
about, please go
yeah.
ahead, Manan.
Also, I would like to add one thing here. Popular mobile game Casual Crush is also bringing its own subnet on Avalanche.
Yeah, and I guess there are a lot more which we are like not including in the video because
Yes.
there is a long list. So
Yeah.
when we are talking about like subnets growing into Avalanche, how can we forget a like latest partnership which is actually a huge thing in and it has never happened in the history of crypto space. So let me just highlight it a bit. I guess some of you are aware of it. I'm thrilled to discuss with you guys that Terra and Avalanche collaborated with a $100 million treasury swap between Terra Labs and Avalanche Foundation. LFG deals to add $100 million of AVX to the UST reserve. Terra Foundation Labs is committed to build and support new UST native protocol within the Avalanche ecosystem to maximize its cross-chain footprints and has executed the separate 100 million treasury swap to AVX to demonstrate its commitment to Avalanche. So you guys must be wondering that why am I talking about Terra and Avalanche partnership as a sudden topic? So you guys would be thrilled to know that Terra is launching its game on Avalanche Subnet, and that's an incredible news which has never like happened in the history of crypto space. So if you want to know about the partnerships, the collaboration, and what all things are going to happen in future, so please do not forget to follow all the socials of Avalanche. You can get all the details in the description below. So I guess we have covered a lot of topics when we are discussing about subnets, and really would like you guys to tell some ending words when we are winding up with the video. So, some thoughts for subnets if you have, or about the future of subnets.
Okay, so with this incredible take of subnets, I'm definitely sure that Avalanche is going to solidify its place as an internet of finance.
Yeah, I personally feel this year is going to be the year for subnets. And I don't know when this will happen, but personally, I am waiting for the day when Ethereum will be a part of the subnets. And I'm not joking at all. It's possible, but let's see.
Thank you for joining in, guys, and sharing your views on subnet. I guess it was a lot more that we have discussed in the video, and the audience got to know exactly what subnet is all about. So I would really like to wind up the video now, and we would be really eager to meet you guys again with another topic. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.